This episode is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It is your one-stop shop for all comic needs, whether they be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got it all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, use the discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. You'll save 10% plus free shipping on your entire order. Again, CarterComics.com, one-stop shop for all comic needs. What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And we are here in 2026 with This Freakin Show. It is hopefully going to be, hopefully going to be the weekly podcast once again with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. I think this is the first podcast we've done together since maybe the second week of November.
That feels right.
Yeah, because I know I did a 3-part episodes with some friends of mine. I'm like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert these into the weeks and we're going to catch up on podcasts. And instead we decided to take 10 weeks off.
Yeah. I needed it. I'm glad. I missed you. I missed doing this.
Yes.
It's also a really busy time of year followed by not enough time to rest. So
it's definitely the worst time of year, especially in the industry I work in, where I'm and that's what it seems I tell a lot of people. It's between Thanksgiving and the second to third week of January, between that time frame, it's busy because it's the end of the year. Everybody wants everything. And then once you get to the new year, you got to finalize everything. And so I mean, listen, as much as I hate the fact that we didn't get together, because again, I did miss you, buddy, and I do love the fact that we get to talk about this, especially when we do those episodes where we talk about what's been bothering us and what's been going on, and we talk about our personal feelings and personal thoughts and stuff. It's nice to have that break, and it's even when with JFW, I told him hey man, we're gonna take 2 weeks off. There's not a whole lot of shows going on, and I just need that break. So it was nice between Christmas and New Year's, because we usually take it off here on this week on this podcast, anyways. Right. It was just nice to have no podcast,
Hey, speaking of JFW, I heard a little bit about John Cena's retirement. Did you guys cover that, or?
We did cover it. Yeah, it was it was emotional for one of my co-hosts. He's a huge John Cena fan. I like John Cena. I didn't have a problem with it. It was never my top favorite professional wrestler, but the dude was when people sit there and they look at who revolutionizes the business or who impacted WWE the most. John Cena did that from 2005, 2003, 2005, all the way up until I want to say probably a little bit before the pandemic hit, where it was his long-term mainstay focus and stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and when you look at and you can compare him to how Hulk Hogan, the character, not the
That's
guy.
Who I was going to say. I was going to say he's sort of the Hulk Hogan of the 2000s.
Exactly. You look at Hulk Hogan in the 80s. You can look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels up in the 90s, Bret Hart in the 90s. That's who John Cena was in the early 2000s up until pre-pandemic. And even when he came back during the pandemic and post-pandemic, which is it weird to think that we're almost half a decade away from the pandemic?
Yes, very.
Right. But even when he came back, a lot of that time he spent more or less putting over the next generation of people, which I think what a lot of professional wrestlers tend to do or should do.
Yep.
His retirement though, the reason it was so unique and so I guess memorable to even the non-occasional wrestling fan like you is because like a baseball player at his final year of baseball or a band going into he had a final tour. He had a goodbye tour. He spent the entire year 30, I think it was 32 appearances throughout the entire year. It was only 32 of them. Where he had some of the greatest hits where he wrestled some former adversaries once again. He came out with some new singles, if you will. He became a heel for the first time in his career, became a bad guy.
Nice.
he won the heavyweight championship for the 17th time,
Yeah.
which arguably is the most anyone has ever done,
Nice.
depending on how you look at it. Now,
Sure.
I don't know if you there's a championship in oh god, what the hell is it called? Jerry the King Lawler held it in Memphis,
Mm-hmm.
where he is technically a 54-time champion, or something like that. He won it like way more than 17. But
Gotcha.
people don't count that. They count Ric Flair 16 times. John Cena's now 17. So
Nice.
that is the top prize right there. That John Cena did that in this year. So
Nice.
here,
Now, what I had heard is that when you're sort of a megastar like Cena or Hogan or something like that, when you retire, it's considered a little like gauche to go out on top. Like you have to lose your final match so that you can sort of pass the baton to the next generation.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
was the heel turn part of setting up sort of like the rise and fall of the storyline, or
It no, so the goofy thing about his heel turn, first off, his heel turn was great. The turning back to baby, because they wanted him to do, they kind of gave him a little bit of free will of like what he wanted to
Mhm.
do, what, and when they're cool with it, obviously. But he said he wanted to be heel. They said they were fine with it, but they didn't want to be. Do you have Netflix?
Mhm.
If you ever get a chance, watch the show WWE Unreal.
Okay.
It is, so what it does is it gives you the behind the scenes process of how they create stories. A lot of people, especially diehard wrestling fans, hate it because it's peeking behind the curtain.
Right, it's breaking kayfabe.
Yeah,
Right.
it talks about his story. Like about it's basically like his year from when he decided he was retiring all the way up until when he won the championship and a little bit beyond that. But it talks about everything else that happened at the same time too. And there's actually a
Nice.
second season that they went into. I think SummerSlam is where they ended that. But
Gotcha.
they were fine with him becoming a heel, but they did not want his career to end as a heel. So
Mm.
what's weird and like it's when you see how it's done, and if you ever go on YouTube and watch, I think it's like John Cena's babyface turn. He didn't do anything from being a heel back to being a babyface except give a promo, give a speech.
All right.
Which a lot of people like when heels are turning babyface is they do a run in and save the day on somebody and people like
Right.
them then, or they're gone for a long time because of injury and then they come back and they're just like, let's go, pandering to the crowd, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
This he literally just went out there and said that he lost his way for a moment. He regrets the way he's been acting. He apologized and he wants to go out and give Cody Rhodes the best match he could and everything, and instantly back to being a babyface again.
Nice.
Um,
Honestly, it fits with like at least who I know him to be outside of wrestling.
oh yeah, he I think he still holds the record for the most Make a Wish charities.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot for communities and a lot for people. He's one of the hardest working guys in the industry. That's what made him,
Yep.
the guy on top
Yeah.
for over a decade. And
Right.
it's just one of the things where like, and where you mentioned like how like going out like putting people over and stuff. He did lose his last match, and a lot of people hated the fact he lost his last match.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're kind of a dick if you don't do that, as
Yeah,
I understand it. Yeah.
yeah,
And I really appreciate how like so I've seen some interviews with him where he was talking about how they approached him and he came up with the storyline and things, and I really appreciated the way that he was thinking about how it's not just in my last match that I want to pass the baton to the next generation. I want the whole thing to be a celebration of wrestling, an opportunity for new fans to engage, for old fans to participate, and I want to really make it about the new guys, so that it's not just about me losing in my final match the way it's supposed to go. It's about a whole evening, a whole day of shows that basically lead into this, where we're showing as many of the old guys as we can get, wrestling as against as many of the new guys as we can get.
yep.
So we can really show off all of the talent that we have to celebrate the old and to usher in the new. I thought that was
No,
brilliant. I
that's what.
mean,
Yeah. So
one of the smartest things I've ever heard, to
yeah.
be honest.
Saturday, yes, the Saturday night's main event was the PLE, which is a premium live event. They don't have pay-per-views anymore. It's premium live events. That was his last match. It was the Saturday night
Whoever
main
came up with that
event.
is a heel, by the way. But go on.
Um, so he wanted it to be some of the classic guys. He was on it, but he wanted to focus on up and comers from NXT, which is the minor league baseball of WWE.
Gotcha.
Um, so he brought in like tag teams and like rising stars and all that stuff. Say, hey, like this is their platform. We know we're gonna have eyes on this entire show. We know how I just realized that my mic has been down, so I'm gonna be quiet this entire show up until now. So sorry for you guys. Um, but he put a lot of like the young talent on there because it's like we're gonna have a lot of eyes on this show. They've never been on a PLE like this before, so let's give them that spot on this show. And it worked out. A lot of those guys and girls are on the main roster now. And that just happened in like the beginning of December. And instantly, a lot of them got bumped up, at the end of the year and stuff. And
Nice.
yeah, yeah. This is it's a unique thing that happened, and what's unique about now, and it sucks for me because uh AJ Styles, who's another professional wrestler, he's one of my favorite guys. If there was a Mount Rushmore of my favorite wrestlers, AJ Styles is on there because he's incredible. He decided that 2026 is his last year,
Mm,
and the guy who beat John Cena in his last match, named Gunther, um, he's cocky, he's arrogant. He's like, I made John Cena tap out because John Cena's whole career was like never give up.
right, right.
So he made John Cena tap out in this match and everything. John Cena gave up, and then he was bragging about that. AJ Styles being the babyface, saying, "Hey, you're disrespecting John Cena," blah 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 blah. So now he's going into a match this Saturday for the Royal Rumble against AJ Styles, going through AJ Styles. And if AJ Styles loses, his career's over.
Right.
So he makes this announcement that 2026 is his final year. But now they're saying if you lose this Saturday, your career's done. You don't get all
Mm,
of 2026. And the thing that sucks is that where AJ Styles is in his career and how WWE is willing to tell a story,
hmm
he very well could lose this Saturday and his career be done.
Oh,
You
that
know,
sucks.
yeah, and that's the thing too, is because I love AJ Styles. I've been watching AJ Styles since the late '90s. When he was in WCW, when he came into TNA around 2002, 2003, had his career until he came to WWE in 2016. And he did all this stuff. And the thing is, like and the way he did his promos and was talking about it makes me think that he is really done on Saturday because he talks about how like John Cena had this farewell tour. I want one of my own. I want to,
Hmm
fight this. I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, if you sit and look at it, I mean,
hmm
he just wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura on a Saturday night main event last Saturday. And that
hmm
was one of the best matches he's had. And it's almost like if that's my final match before I retire, then I'm good with it kind of thing. And
hmm
it sucks. Like I said, there's a possibility he's going to win. We're going to get 2026 AJ Styles, but at the same time, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up losing and this is just the end of it. I got to
Right.
do predictions for the Royal Rumble because we do predictions for JFW of everything and we award points and stuff based on our predictions of who's going to win. And I don't know how I'm going to mark that. If I'm going to
Mm,
say AJ's going to win or going to lose, I don't know. I have a better idea of who's going to win the Royal Rumble than I have who's going to win between AJ and Gunther.
Gotcha.
But this is my childhood, man. I mean, the people I've grown up watching wrestling, like they're retiring. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah. Wild. Well,
John
thank you. I,
Cena.
I was curious about that. As soon as I heard about it, I was like, this is something I need to ask Travis about. So
Couldn't ask Nico on Geekcast Live. He
no,
doesn't- No,
no, I
it's
probably could have, but I didn't want to. I care about your
okay.
opinion
I
on it
got
more
you.
than
I
his.
got you. I got you. I got you. Nico seems like the kind of guy who would hate John Cena.
Hmm
If you could ask him that on this episode, ask him.
Yeah, I'll ask him tonight. Yeah,
Because I'm going to say he's the kind of guy who hates John Cena. Because I'm going to guess Nico's more like an old school guy.
I can see that.
And yeah, he's I think that he's glad John Cena's gone. If he's still like into watching wrestling and stuff, but
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
and I think he enjoys Cena as an actor, so he's probably happy to have him doing acting full time.
yeah, and that was another thing too. Like throughout the year, he kind of like he took a break from the acting roles and stuff
Hmm.
like that. Uh, have you ever seen any John Cena movies?
Um, you know, I don't know that I have. I've seen, I mean, I've seen what is it? Suicide Squad
Yeah,
and
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. I've watched all of Peacemaker. Those aren't movies, but I've seen
I
all of them.
I hate the fact that they changed the theme song in season two.
Oh yeah.
I love season one
I
so
love
much
the
more.
first theme song. My sort of problem is that I love Foxy Shazam, and Oh Lord is one of my favorite songs by Foxy Shazam.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't feel like it fit the show until after the season was over. Like by the time the season was over, I was like, oh, now I see why you picked that theme
Right.
song.
Now I'm bought
But
into it, but then by season three, it's gonna be gone.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
If you ever get a chance, so I have a few John Cena movies I like, and Legendary is the first one. He plays an older brother of a nerdy kid who gets picked on who wants to join the wrestling team and teaches him how to wrestle. It's a great movie. If you ever get a chance, Legendary, definitely look it up. Very inspiring. I watched I watched a couple movies the other day that made me cry, and I don't know why. And uh, Legendary is one of those movies that would definitely man,
Yeah,
I would
just talking
definitely
about it right
tear up
now, your
too.
voice is getting husky.
It's so rough, dude. I watched it. Did you ever God, what the hell's the movie? Oh crap. The Fighting Giants or something like that.
Mm-mm.
Fighting Giants, I think it's called. What was it? Facing the Giants. That movie, it got me. And the thing is too, like, if anything is going to, and this kind of did it for me. If there's any movie out there that said, "Hey, Travis, quit failing and start succeeding," it's this
Mm.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, like, this dude, he's coaching a failed football team. He's struggling to have a child with his wife. His truck is constantly breaking down, like everything is against him until he prayed and
Mm.
he put trust in God that things are gonna be better. And he started telling us like he's like, I don't care about winning. You just need to do your absolute best. And they start winning. And watch the movie if you have a chance. Watch it. Facing the Giants. It's not a
All
John
right.
Cena movie, but that movie, put it on your list.
Gotcha. I'll add it to my
Um,
list. I am for the last couple of years, I've been trying to watch more movies.
mhm.
At the beginning of January last year, I bought a new sort of entertainment center. Got a big 77-inch TV. Got surround sounds. Got a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Um, to try and like one, watch more movies, and two, try to be more social without having to leave my house. Um,
Mhm.
the only watching more movies is the only one of those two that happened.
Gotcha.
But this year so far, I have watched at least two movies a week. Usually on Sundays, I come home from church and I usually have taken a nap or whatever.
Yeah.
This year, I try to watch a couple movies. So,
Yeah. Well, I got a response to that. I'm gonna tell you something because I beat your movie count.
oh, no
uh,
doubt. I have no doubt because I sort of stopped counting in April of last year.
so what it is, well, here, let me do this real quick. So watch Legendary by John Cena.
Hmm.
Uh, non-John Cena movie, Facing the Giants. Watch that movie. That is a heartwarming movie. What is the other one called? Where Hope Grows? Yeah, Where Hope Grows. Watch that movie. That's about a broken down, washed up baseball player struggling with alcoholism finds friendship with a kid with Down syndrome who works at a store. That's an incredible movie. That movie made me tear up too. So, two non-John Cena movies, Where Hope Grows and Facing Giants. Watch those two. John Cena movies. Watch Legendary. It's a very inspiring movie about him being an older brother. Ricky Stenicki.
I've
It's
heard of
a
Ricky Stenicki.
it is, dude, just by watching the trailer, if you're into the kind of like childish, immature humor, that is this. He is so good in it, and it's just that. Do you ever see the movie Blockers?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, put Blockers on your list too. That's also a John Cena movie. Um, Ricky Snicki is if you like I said,
Oh, okay.
if you like the whole like I said, like immature humor and stuff like that, that one's great. And then what was the third one? Daddy Holmes 2 is also a good one. You can throw that on your list if you want to. And actually, that might be it. Let's go with those four.
All right, I'll start with those three.
They give you well-rounded. They give you well-rounded John Cena's. It's a good place to start. So watch those. What my so movie-wise. So I was talking at work with some friends of mine, and we're talking about movies. Like over the years, you understand that there's not a lot of range in my classic movie watching.
Sure.
No matter what, it doesn't matter if it's here, JFW, or at work. People are so shocked and appalled at the fact that I've never watched all the Star Wars. Okay.
Mm.
Not only that, I don't like them, and they don't get it. And so I'm at work and I'm talking about them, and we fell into the same conversation about I don't know if you remember it or not, but like when I was on Geekcast Live for Halloween,
Hmm.
um, before we started recording, I was talking about my questioning of how the universe works.
Hmm.
So that conversation came up and we were talking about it. And I was like, dude, like, it's not that I don't believe it. It's just I just need it explained to me. It's probably the same reason why I don't like Star Wars because space stuff is like it's never like really interests me and I don't understand it. And then like these movies are trying to do like this sci-fi crap and I just can't buy into it, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. And I was like, but I mean, honestly, it could just be how the movie's made because I never watch a lot of classic action movies. I watch a lot of westerns, but I don't watch classic movies. And they're like, well, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen that? I was like, no, 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 like never.
Hmm. Hmm.
So what they did is they created a list of 50 movies for me to watch in 50 days. So I
Oh, wow.
started I started January 1st and I've been watching a movie every single day up until
That's
today.
wild because 50 is actually my goal for the year.
Yeah, well, I'm at this day
So yeah,
29.
you're beating
I'm
me.
on I'm on movie 29.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, like, they're movies like I let them pick. And the thing is, like, the rule was between the 60s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You pick what movies that I should watch, and I'll watch them. And not only that, I'll give them a rating. And what I've been doing is, so I've been watching the movie, and I've been giving them ratings. And like some of the ratings to them make sense. Some of the ratings seems a little bit too much. Some ratings seem like absolutely horrible. Like perfect example. So I'm looking at my list right now. So there was a movie I watched called The French Connection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Did not like it. They said
Yeah.
that it was, that I think not Hugh Jackman, um Gene Hackman.
Mm.
Gene Hackman, I think, won an Oscar for this movie. So that's like I didn't get it. I just didn't like it. I gave Dirty Harry 10 out of 10 because I love Clint Eastwood and I've seen Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Uh, but then there are other movies like Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. I've never been a big Indiana Jones guy. Like I remember the only time I ever watched Indiana Jones was laying in bed with my ex-girlfriend while she
Mm.
was while she was healing from appendicitis, hoping that we'd get back together.
Yeah.
I thought Indiana Jones sucked, but the thing was, it was just in the situation I was in. I was laying in bed with an ex-girlfriend, hoping she'd take me back. Like, no,
Hmm.
I watched The Last Crusade, 9 out of 10. Loved it.
Nice. Oh,
Great
great.
movie. It was a great movie. Loved it. Big Trouble in Little China. I gave 5 out of stars. Didn't like it. But James Bond. I started watching James Bond's movies. Like, there's 3 of them I watched so far, I think. And I gave what? I gave the Living Daylight. I gave 7 out of 10. It was okay. What was the other one? Somewhere in there. There's another one somewhere. I can't remember what it is. But the thing is, like, I'm opening my horizons, my expectations to what we're gonna do. And the whole
Nice.
thing was I was doing this for Christmas. I did the 25 days of Christmas. I did it for the
Mhm.
31 days of Halloween. So
Right.
now, so now I'm doing this. I'm almost done. So then they challenged me more. So in March, I'm watching 30 baseball movies because that's spring
Wow.
training.
Right. That makes sense.
They want me to do a summer-long Nicolas Cage challenge where I watch a
Oh my
Nicolas
God.
Cage movie every day for the summer because Nicolas Cage's been over 100 movies.
Has he
Um,
really?
yeah, it's like 120 something.
Mackerel.
Yeah, he was in a lot of movies, and we're looking at it because I told them because we're also talking about comedies, and in my mind, for some reason, I thought, well, I could just watch Adam Sandler because he's been in just as many movies as Nicolas Cage, and they're like, you are way off. It turns out Nicolas Cage was in twice as many movies as Adam Sandler was, and it's the whole
Wild.
like not uncredited cameos and stuff like that too. But that dude's in over 100 something.
Yeah, it says at least 122 on the when you
Yep,
Google it.
yeah. So they want me to do a series on baseball or 30 days of baseball in March. They want me to do a summer of Nicolas Cage. Uh they Ryan, who I work with, I don't have it with me, but he actually made a 31 days of Halloween list for me. And I said, give me some of the classics because I don't watch the classics. But I was like, listen, I will broaden my horizon because I told him I don't do horror movies.
Mhm.
I will get scared and I'll be like, oh, like that. But you know what? If
Right.
I happen to, maybe listen to him while I'm at work or something, maybe I'll be, less of a coward doing it. I don't know, but he put together some classic Halloween movies for me to watch, and I'm on board with it. And it's the
Nice.
same thing like when I did the Halloween ratings and I did the Christmas ratings, I told people this is my rating of the movie. Give me a recommendation. And nobody gave me recommendations. I told Ryan, give me some recommendations. He made me lists. So
Awesome. That's a good
yeah,
friend.
yeah.
That's a good word for it, especially.
What I need to do is I need to do the opposite of what you're doing, and I should start reading more. That's the problem. I gotta start
Mm-hmm.
reading. One thing I did want to ask, and look at this, just busting through the first episode of 2026 so far. Where'd you end up with the sardine diet? Because I was kind of on board with doing that, but we never really talked about it.
Yeah, just I have enough sardines to do the 3 days whenever you want.
It is a
Um,
lot of sardines in them,
it is
and
a
like
lot of sardines,
I was telling my mom, I was like, hey, Joy and I are gonna do the sardine diet, and she's like, at first I thought she was gonna be like, what's the sardine diet? But she knows what the sardine diet is. She's like, why would you do that to yourself? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, that's gonna come through your pores, right?
yeah,
So you're
it's
gonna
brutal.
do, it's like you're gonna smell like sardines. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, but the thing I realized too, like after you sent me that like video and I watched the video, I'm like, you listen, when it comes to content, I am on board to try anything.
Right?
I have never eaten a sardine.
Really?
I don't even know
They're
how.
fine.
I was Googling how do you eat sardines because I
Yeah.
do not know how to eat a sardine. No
I
clue.
didn't know that it was an option to just that you could cook them. Apparently, you can reheat them and stuff and like put them on pasta or whatever. That's not part of the diet. That's just a way to eat sardines that I didn't know
Yeah.
about.
Listen, I think I actually have let's see, so do I have it in here? I think I got the sardine diet here. I got a whole list of a bunch of crap. I got
But yeah, I what I did was I went and I bought when I first heard about the diet and I sent it to you, I went and I bought different kinds of sardines because like you can buy sardines for like $1 a can or less.
mhm,
But I was curious how much worse they were than the ones that cost $5 a can, right?
gotcha. Yeah.
Um, Now to do the sardine diet, I would not recommend doing $5 cans of sardines because you're going to eat like a minimum of 24 cans of sardines over 3 days. Um, there's no way you want to spend $500 on or $120 on sardines
Yeah.
when they're like the world's cheapest food.
Well, so what I did is, and I've been doing this a lot with my life, is I've been asking ChatGPT to do things for me. I don't know how well. What are you doing? What is that?
Kefir.
Is that pond water? What are you drinking?
It's kefir. It's water kefir.
What does that mean?
Um, Kefir is like a fermented drink. You might see it in the
Oh,
grocery
you were
store. It
telling
says,
me about that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that
So I don't
made?
remember
Is
what.
that is that made at home or is that bought?
Yep, I made it at home.
Nice. Okay. I'm looking at. It, I'm like, is that swamp water you're pouring? Like, what are you doing? Okay. I
Looks
asked
like it,
Chat.
doesn't it?
It alarmed me for a minute. I was like, I don't because at first you're pouring. I'm like, is that ice? Because it looked like iced coffee, like a heavily
Mm.
creamed iced coffee. I was like,
Hmm.
okay, dang. I didn't think dude drink nothing but black coffee, but okay. And then I was like, wait,
A little late
that's
at night for that, to be honest.
yeah. Unless it's decaf. I mean, who knows?
Fair, fair.
So I asked ChatGPT about structure me a 72-hour sardine diet. And the way it told me was so 8 a.m. I had 2 cans of oil sardines. Apparently, it has to be the oil ones. It has to be an oil. So two
Mm.
cans of oil sardines, black coffee, water, and I could use hot sauce, mustard, lemon, or pepper as an option to season the fish. At noon, I have 1 to 2 cans of sardines, tea, water, and again a flavor option. 5 p.m. oil sardines, so a can of sardines, tea, water, and again flavored options.
Mhm.
The option B, if I was only to eat twice, would be no, I wasn't. What was that? Suggest the beverage clean those out. No, not that one. No, sorry. Where am I at here? So yellow mustard has a blah 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 blah. Last question. No, 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 no. Okay, so sardines option. Let me see. Let me open this here because I wanted to make sure I did everything right. And
Mhm.
again, maybe I'm putting a lot too much trust in ChatGPT, but
Oh, way too much, but
yeah.
so far it sounds okay.
So 72-hour sardine fast updated. They're calling it sardine fast because I also want to incorporate fasting into it.
Hmm.
So hour one begins at 8 a.m. on day one, and then ends at 7 a.m. on day four. So allowed beverages is water, black coffee, unsweetened tea. 0 calorie seasonings would be mustard, hot sauces, lemon, lemon juice, pepper, red pepper flakes,
Hmm.
white or apple cider vinegar. I want to incorporate light walking, so about 5 minutes of walking in the morning.
Nice.
Indoor walking would be just as fine as I'm at work, just get up moving around. Chair marches, 10 to 20 reps and stuff like that. So a couple of exercises to keep myself moving because I know
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
biggest problem with me is I don't move a lot. I'm
Right.
not gonna get
Same.
any better with it. So at 7 a.m. I have 20 ounces of water. I have coffee and I don't know what the hell that is. This is stupid. ChatGPT sometimes suck. Oh, Ultima. The sodium. I need sodium. So that's what that is. 20 ounce of water, sodium coffee, and then 8 a.m. 2 cans, coffee. 11 a.m. more sodium. Option meal Tuesday and noon. So again, like it maps it out. Because I was, like I
Nice.
said, I was on board with it. Just obviously, we took a break and never talked about it. But again, if it's for content, why the hell not?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But what was your interest with it?
Yeah, so my interest with it is that I am not well trained enough in fasting to actually go without eating for 72 hours. That's really a no-go for me. I'm a very unpleasant person to be around when I'm fasting.
Gotcha.
Um, and so I thought, this gives me something that's some calories. It's a bit like, well, especially if you don't have the oil, it's a bit like rabbit starvation, right? Where like there's not enough fat, so you're starving yourself even though you're eating.
Mhm.
Um, but I like sardines. I think they're good. I also really appreciate the like extra omega-3 fatty acids, which
Yep.
are I'm horrible at taking my fish oil pills. I know that's the thing I need to be better at. Um, but I guess my feeling was, yeah, I got them upstairs. I just don't ever take them.
Yeah, I'll never get this brand again though, because it has that fish smell and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I think like Nature's Bounty or whatever that you get at Walgreens. Yeah,
Nature made. Yeah.
that's it. Um, but yeah, but I like sardines. I think they're delicious. And so just getting into the habit of eating them more frequently and then getting into the mindset of like that's a food I can just reach for when I'm hungry
Yeah.
is another thing that I'm thinking about for after the fast. The idea that like, maybe once or twice a day or 3 or 4 times a week, I just have a can of sardines as a snack. And because I ate them for 3 days, I'm used to the idea of eating them. Because right
Gotcha.
now there is something I only ever ate growing up with like the Boy Scouts or hanging out with dad. Um,
How
when
can
he
you eat
was like
them?
living in his falling apart apartment in Fowler.
The thing above like the movie theater?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you so what was how do you eat sardines? Do you just like swallow them whole or like do you cut the heads
I
off
just I
and
just eat them right out of the can with a fork.
so like you don't take the
Tear them
skin
up and eat
off,
them.
you don't take the head off or
No, I just eat it whole.
yeah.
Yeah, the few bones that are in there are small enough that like you don't even feel them. Most of the
But
sardines that I buy are not small whole fish. They're like chunks they're like fillets of fish.
okay.
Um, they are cooked, so it's safe to eat out of the can. It's not like you're eating raw fish out of a can.
Mhm.
Um,
The one
so
thing,
yeah,
the
I
one,
just eat them right out of
yeah,
the can.
the one thing I could tell you if you wanted my advice on fasting, I found it like when I look at it as like a health option, it's
Mm-hmm.
very hard, especially like when my like go-to comfort is food.
Mm-hmm.
When I started looking at fasting as more of like a mental, spiritual thing,
Mm-hmm.
like getting me closer to God kind of thing, it was way easier. I was thinking about trying a 5-day fast. And because I mean, again, like autophagy and all that stuff, and cell regeneration is very interesting to me. And I remember doing the 72-hour fast while we were podcasting one day and hitting that 60-hour mark and having like this euphoric, like calming feeling. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I want to see what 5 days is like. And basically, like the thing is, like it's doable as long as you maintain your sodium. And that's the biggest thing is, to prevent cramps, keep hydrated, a lot of water, a lot of coffee, or a lot of water. You can incorporate coffee and tea, but basically it's a lot of water, a lot of sodium and stuff like that. And I actually have this print out this schedule for a 5-day fast. So I'm thinking I want to try doing the sardine fast with you, and then I may kick a 5-day fast right in after that.
Nice.
Because I do know that I need to get better health wise and weight loss wise and everything. And just I haven't been great at it. And here we are at the end of January, and I've done very little to make 2026 what I wanted it to be. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of letting myself down.
Mm-hmm.
I had this idea to do a documentary, and we can roll into freaking thinking. And this is what mine is. Outside of obviously Belly Up, which I do want to do that, and I look forward to doing that here in 2026 when the weather gets better. I
Mm-hmm.
thought about doing a documentary about my entire year of my goals and successes and challenges and stuff like that. About like basically like what I did for my online journal, but
Mm-hmm.
to do it right here in front of a camera and stuff like that. And I was thinking of like, what would be the first thing? Like, what's the impact line that would really kind of like pique the interest of people listening to it and everything. And I realized that there was one honest line I could think of to start it all off. And what I thought would be true was my biggest fear about the documentary is not failing, but not being around long enough to see it finish.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, like I'm not afraid of dying.
Right.
Um, but I'm afraid of dying from my failures. Like if I get in a
Gotcha.
car accident, old age hits or whatever, I mean, hey, that's just a part of life. That's just it is. It's whatever God's will. But if I die because I can't get up, I can't, move, I can't function, I have a heart attack or whatever. Like if I die because I have failed myself from getting better,
Mm.
that's what scares me
Mm-hmm.
because I would sit there and I'll look at, my sister who sends me these Instagram videos and clips of guys who are, hey, I started this journey at 600 pounds and now I'm at 440, or hey, I started this at 548 and now I'm at 332, and saying like, oh, here, these guys are doing it, or my parents worried about like, hey, what do you need to, get better? Because let me help you, or my dad worried about me about, this and the other thing. It's like, I don't want them to be right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So I want 2026 to be better.
yeah,
And again, I want to do what it takes to do that. And again, I was watching the Fighting Giants or Facing Giants movie,
yeah.
and the way that the coach acted throughout the movie was like that's the motivation I want. It's like you don't have to win. You just have to give your absolute best.
Mm-hmm.
And your absolute best that ends up becoming your success. And I think that's where I want my focus to be. The only thing that's a struggle to me right now is I'm still fighting it to try to wake up and ready to go in the morning. Like I
Yeah,
that's my first obstacle, but I'm on board to do the sardine diet. I just got to order. First off, I got to order sardines.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
I actually have to try sardines because if I don't like sardines, I'm sorry,
No,
I
you're
don't think I'll
done.
be able to do it.
That's it.
But
You're
uh,
sending me your leftover sardines.
but when do you want to do this?
I mean, let's see.
How about,
Matt,
let me ask you this: are
yeah.
you cool with waiting about a week?
Yes, that would probably be about perfect.
let me order a can of sardines, and I will try them as we record the show
Perfect.
to get a live reaction. And if I could get through that can, which means I should be able to get through 6 cans a day for 3 days,
Right.
then I'll do that. And if I don't like it, you can take them. I know Nick eats them, but let me buy some. Let me buy some
Yeah, whatever.
sardines.
Yeah, however you want to get rid of them, so you
Yeah,
don't have to just have them sitting in your closet or whatever.
100%. Yeah. So next week I will eat a can of sardines here on the show,
Perfect.
and we'll see how it goes and everything.
Perfect.
Cool. What's
Yeah,
what's
that
your
works.
fun? What are you freaking thinking?
Man, what am I freaking thinking? This has been, and I'm sorry if it feels like I'm wrote it in your face or whatever, but it's been the best start of a year I've had in like a decade, easily.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Especially the last like couple of years, I've just been like, I feel like I've just been in like a deep depression for a couple of
Yeah.
years,
Okay.
and I feel like I'm finally out of it. I'm feeling hopeful and positive about the future for the first time in a long time. My pastor friend of mine put it really beautifully. He said,
Mhm.
"You're moving from the discipline of hope to the experience of hope."
Nice.
And that's exactly it, right? Because I
Yeah.
practice hope as a discipline, so I'm always hopeful about the future because I'm an optimistic person,
Mhm.
but I don't always feel hopeful. It's more of a like, especially the last couple of years, it's more of like it will get better eventually. I know that. I
Right.
just have to make it through
It
right now.
has to. Like it has to
Right.
get
It
better.
can't
Yeah.
possibly get worse, right?
Right.
It could have gotten worse. Thank God it didn't. But yeah, and I feel like church is going well. We finally are suddenly all of a sudden getting like 3 or 4 people new coming every week. We're in a good place financially at the church. We're in a good place financially, relatively speaking. In our personal, like my wife and I are doing pretty well for the moment. Things seem stable, which is great, especially after the I got scammed last year. That really set us back a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so that's good. Like things are going great with the Masons. I'm really feeling well positioned to like move my way up within my own lodge, and then maybe even I do have aspirations to Grand Lodge eventually. So that feels like a possibility. And then because of the people that I'm meeting through that, I'm being exposed to a bunch of ideas that I haven't been exposed to in a long time. So I feel like I'm learning things other than just the ritual or whatever that
Yeah.
I never thought of before. That's wonderful. I'm reading books I've never read because either I've just been putting it off or when I first got COVID in 2021, I really struggled to read for a couple of years
Yeah.
there. I mean, I could do it, but it was just like it was hard to sit down and focus and do it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's just like the being on the ADHD meds for a year that actually work. If that's working now, like if I've just reached a point of stability there. Um, and it's not perfect, right? Like I still need to exercise. I certainly need to do a better job of eating right, and Maddie's been helping a lot with that. She does a meal plan for us every week. She has a blog of like what's in season in terms of like produce.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and so she bases our meal plan around what's in season. So that's kind of cool. Although I'm still not eating enough vegetables. Part of the problem with it is like she puts the meal plan together, that's great, but like then we have to go shop for it. And so, you know, more often than not, we end up doing last week's meal plan this week because last week we decided to just have grilled cheese a couple nights. Because it's just easier to have grilled cheese sometimes than it is to make a recipe we've never made before.
But I had quesadillas for like 4 nights in a row because
Oh,
who doesn't love a quesadilla?
dude, the number of
Right?
times I've walked into Aldi and been like, I don't know what we're going to eat this week, but I've got to pick up water for my kefir. So I'm
Mhm.
just going to grab a couple packs of tortillas and a big bag of cheese. And I know we can have quesadillas every night if we have to.
There we go. Yeah, low carb wraps and cheddar cheese with some taco seasoning. Dude,
Right.
game changer.
Perfect.
Love it. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's stuff that needs to improve, but like, I it's weird to say this. I feel happy, like actually genuinely happy for the first time in a really long time. And yeah, it's great. So I guess that's what I'm thinking about is like it's been a great start to the year. I hope that the
Good.
rest of the year continues in this manner. I'm ahead by a month on planning my worship services.
Awesome.
This week I'm not as on top of it. Last week I had my sermon written by Monday, so I wish that I had my sermon written by Monday this week, but instead I talked to my pastor friend in Indiana for 6 hours. And so as a result, I haven't written it yet, but maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, like I'm on top of things. I'm planned ahead by at least a quarter for the first time in forever. It's I don't know, things are starting to line up in a way that really makes me happy.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that, man. Yeah. I'm happy you're happy, brother. And and I know 2026 I think is going to be better, and I do believe that. Again, I'm like you, like gosh, it can't get any worse. But personally, everything's gonna get better, I think. And even here on like the podcast for Ignite Studios, I said I'm really excited to do the whole belly up thing. I got a few friends who like the concept, want to be part of the concept as like guest hosts and stuff on it. So I'm hoping as soon as the weather gets better, I can start doing that. We did lose a couple podcasts at the end of last
Yep.
year. I knew they were going to leave, and that's totally fine. A buddy of mine who do the podcast with for JFW Apex, he wants to create his own podcast, so he wants to
Nice.
add on to Freaknet Studios. I'm really excited because the Babes of Lore are coming back to do podcasting in a couple months.
Oh,
Not part of
nice.
Freaknet Studios, but they're just going to relaunch theirs again. I'm really excited for them,
Hmm.
and I like the idea, and hopefully that we still consider your Christian Bible
Yeah, I've been thinking
podcast.
about it, and I've been
Yeah.
thinking I might actually have time this year because I'm actually organized for the first time, maybe in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like we could always like if you ever got a down minute and I have a down minute and stuff, we just get together and we can always game plan this stuff. And I think the two is like if we could just find like 30 minutes in like a week or something like that to sit there and say, hey, let's do like a quick because it's just you and me on Freaking Out Studios now. There is no more Sarge and Dizzle J and stuff. It's
Right.
just us that we kind of game plan like what we want to do. Because again, the biggest thing I think for us is just consistent
Consistency.
content.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just being able to build the content and stuff like that. And I think staying consistent on this freaking show, I think we could definitely do it. And even if we could find a way to, because my goal is to do belly up at least every other week, and see how the growth is and make it almost weekly. But I mean, the big picture idea is this is our boom, just like that.
Finally working.
Um, the overall goal, I think, for us is to make this financially stable for us to where this could be our job.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
that'd be dope.
Ohio is what 9 months away.
Hmm.
So well, I guess technically 8 months away and stuff, and we got to prepare for that. But belly up, I'm excited to do, and I'm excited for you to be a part of those on occasions, but also to
Hmm.
bring different friends, to show me different places and stuff, and just start building this content I know we're capable of doing, and I know that um it definitely changed for me at least. I don't want to speak for you, but for me at least, it gives me a little bit more purpose than the everyday 9 to 5 that I feel is starting to define me more and more every day.
Hmm.
Um, so guys, 2026 is here. First episode of This Freaking Show is here. Thank you for being here with us. If you haven't yet, make sure you go over to Discord, join the Freaknet Studios Discord over there and be a part of that. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just by searching This Freaking Show. Probably more Facebook than the other. We don't use them that much and everything.
Yep.
But make sure
I have fully quit Twitter.
yeah, I'm getting to the point where like it's just we never really use it. I don't know the purpose of keeping it, so I think I'm just gonna probably get rid of that.
Yeah.
I do use the Instagram on occasions. Instagram, Facebook, I do use more often than
Hmm.
anything else. Discord has all the notifications for all the YouTube content we put out. Make sure you subscribe over to the Freakness Studios YouTube channel, obviously, where you can watch our podcast, but you can also listen to them on Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcast.
Perfect.
Before we go, Joe, if our listeners need more Cartoon Joe, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Blue Sky by searching Geekcast Live.
Perfect. Guys, that's all I got. As always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.